Hey, welcome back to Even More Mashed Up. We are the Pop Culture Podcast, coming to you from Misericordia University. We are two professors talking about all things popular culture. I'm Alan.
And I'm Patrick. And hey, it's strange that we had so much to talk about Stranger Things 3, that we're doing a second episode.
How about that?
You forgot?
So we talked about Hopper. We've
Yeah.
talked about Mike and Joyce. Jonathan. How about Steve?
I enjoyed Steve this season.
There's something about Steve that doesn't seem realistic to me.
Well, he's gone from being like the high
Exactly.
school heartthrob.
Number one guy in
Yeah.
the school to literally
Though I
the
liked,
biggest loser.
Though I like to think that he's gone from something that is very sort of artificial
Yeah.
for him, that he is much happier the way he is now.
Oh, I don't mind that idea.
So I like that,
That
yeah.
he's found happiness.
At
but-
Scoops Ahoy.
The precipitativeness of his fall
Yeah.
is it just I'm like, really? Like the guy went from number one guy in school to an absolute nobody who all the girls make fun of.
Yeah.
That happened pretty quickly.
Well, but also part of it
I guess
is-
he's working
is-
at Scoops Ahoy.
But it's also they're not in school right now, so we don't really get to see like how he's viewed.
Well, he's graduated though, right?
Yeah.
Like because he can't get into colleges or
Right.
whatever. But it strikes me that like Scoops Ahoy, it's like working at the melting pot. Nobody would fall that far that fast.
Yeah. Like that's rock bottom and then some.
Yeah.
I only worked at the melting pot because the grocery store that I've been working at a month went on strike.
What? We weren't talking about you.
So you abandoned? You abandoned the strikers?
No, I did my time on the picket line, even though they were mainly striking over benefits that I would never be eligible for.
Classic unionism.
Might be why I'm not a big fan of unions.
Yeah. So anyway, Steve has become incredibly likable
Yes, he has.
over 3 seasons. There's
Yes.
no doubt about that, and he's still got the hair.
He does. Yeah. I thought I enjoyed Steve this season.
Yeah. The Scoops Ahoy stuff was mostly
Yes.
fun.
Well, and since we're talking about Scoops Ahoy,
Yeah.
should we talk about Robin?
Yeah. Who was one of my favorite characters.
Oh,
absolutely, yeah.
I
mean,
loved
of
her.
course, she really stood out to everybody. It's,
Yeah.
like, it's not really, I don't think, particularly revolutionary to say.
Yeah.
But she was like a breath of fresh air
I really
to
enjoyed
a
her.
cast
yeah.
that was otherwise kind of treading water.
Yeah,
in a
I mean,
way.
she's really the only major new addition to the cast, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't change up too much.
I guess Lucas's sister might be.
Yeah, we'd have to count her, right?
But yeah, no, I
And
really
Alexi.
liked Robin,
Yeah.
and and in particular how they handled, the revelation of her sexuality.
Well, it just reminded me of how, like, as bad as things can be nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
how much things have changed since the 1980s.
Yeah.
Where, like, Robin, like, that she even said it was almost unbelievable in
Mm-hmm.
the 1980s because it was, that was not something that you could share very broadly.
Well, I
certainly
think-
in the Midwest,
Yeah, well, and I think they're both still under the truth serum,
right?
so I think that might be part of why Robin ends up revealing that.
Yeah.
But
But
I also like the fact
the
that
truth serum were fun though.
Oh, they were hilarious. Like, I can only imagine. Though I did read an interview where she basically talked about how, like, the scene where they're tied to each other,
Yeah.
like, that was 4 or 8 hours of filming,
Yeah.
of just the two of them
Yeah.
taped to each other.
Acting is hard.
Yeah, she's the daughter of Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke.
No,
The act,
really?
yeah, that's Mara Hawke. She's
I
'Cause there
saw
was
Hawk and I never.
because there was something about her. I'm like, she looks weird, like strangely familiar. And I'm like, why? But I've never. The name didn't ring a bell.
She had a good 80s.
So I looked her up
Look
online,
to
and then the more I was like, she has Uma Thurman's eyes. That's why I was like,
Interesting. Uma
recognize
Thurman
her.
kind of an 80s. Well, maybe.
No, she's more 90s.
Yeah.
Both of them. Both. Well, because, Ethan Hawke, Reality Bites.
When
Uma Thurman, Pulp Fiction, like, that's
fair,
90s.
That's 90s because
Definitely, yeah. They're definitely both 90s. But yeah, I hope, it's clear that they're going to keep her involved.
Oh, they should.
She's basically this season's Max.
Right. I thought Max suffered for that in a way. I liked the Max moments with Elle at the mall,
Yeah.
but I've got to be honest with you. I felt like the whole Max Lucas relationship was just kind of stated, but never really explored.
Well, again, I would say they established that they were starting a relationship last season.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing that they just kind of took for granted
Right.
this season.
Right, but you never see them really as a boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't know. Just to me, it's another one of those off the screen kind of things.
Yeah.
I felt like I Max was more interesting last year than she was this year.
That also and this sort of brings in Billy as well.
Yeah.
That was another thing that I felt they really didn't do enough to establish in this season. Was Billy, like, we get the tragedy of Billy, but it's in like episode 7 of this season.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure they ever really did much to establish in this season.
Yeah.
Clearly, that I might have to go back and see. Would you know that Max and Billy are siblings?
Right.
Prior to like episode 7 when they reveal the whole like adoption thing.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm like,
You
I'm
have
not sure
to-
they actually established
It's
that.
odd that you're like it's just a canon thing,
Yeah.
but not for okay. To me, Billy was a totally wasted character this season.
Yeah, I felt bad.
I thought he was interesting in season 2. As soon as he becomes,
Well, he gets killed in the first episode. He's basically gone.
well, is he dead? I thought he didn't die until the 8th episode. He gets taken over.
Well, he's mind flayed, but we don't really see much of like the struggle for the real Billy to get out.
There
like,
is no like until the very end.
until the very
right?
end. That's my
Yeah,
point.
no,
So Bailey's basically gone until the very end.
As soon as they turn him into a monster, like any promise that character has
Yeah.
is obliterated. And
Yeah.
I think it's really cheap storytelling at the end to go back and show his really unpleasant childhood.
I wouldn't describe it as cheap. I think it was
Easy?
less effective because, like, it's something they needed to establish earlier on.
But that's the cheapness of it. Like to me, it's just like, we'll stick it in here at the end. Now you'll sympathize, and he'll make a character turn that Hope and I both agreed just didn't feel realistic.
Yeah, I mean, cheap isn't the word I'd use. I would say that
Didn't
it's
feel
not earned.
But to me, that's almost the same thing.
Yeah, it feels different to me for some
Okay,
reason.
that's fine.
Because he says a different word.
Well, he's the apologist, so the cheap,
Oh, no,
the cheap
Back
has a
to
connotation to it. Of the
Billy.
two of us, you've defended it more than I have,
I defended
given that I've not
maggots.
defended it at all. So,
You've attacked it
yeah,
constantly.
but
That's because you hate everything I like.
you knew Billy was going to turn. I was part of it to me. Like you just, of course, he was going to turn at the end,
Yeah.
and the way it was done just made it.
Well,
feel
particularly
even
when they did the whole
cheaper
like
to me.
showing his like traumatic
Right.
childhood with the
Yeah.
the mom's like, okay, well clearly we're gonna get kind of a redemption.
Right.
But I don't really know that we didn't get much of a sense of why Billy needs to be redeemed.
So to me, Hopper's letter caught me in the feels.
Okay.
Billy never did.
Yeah,
and
no.
and you should feel sympathy for the guy.
You should, but then again, that's the problem is that they didn't do anything in this season
Right.
to make you feel
Now
sympathy.
there was
in him.
some
Until late.
suggestion of abusiveness in season 2.
That's the problem, but they just kind of assumed people would carry
Right.
that over.
Right. Yeah. So I just felt like Billy was a character.
Yeah.
And Max were just characters that just, and Joyce, just didn't get what they might have gotten.
Yeah. Well, because even like Joyce, you get that one scene with Sam
Yeah.
from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Sean
Frodo.
Astin. I'm forgetting. No, Frodo's the other one.
Wait, Frodo's the one that carries the ring.
Um,
He always looks pained on his face.
Yes, Sam, Sean Astin, the actor. I can't remember
Yeah.
who his character in Stranger Things is.
Bob.
Bob, that's right. Bob that got killed last season.
the builder.
You get like that
Not the
one
builder.
scene of Bob,
Yeah.
and then we don't really see that carried through Joyce. There's one very brief mention where Hopper brings up the fact that she's planning to move.
Yeah.
And that's the only mention until they move at the end.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stuff that just didn't feel as developed and yeah, I guess as developed as it could have been.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, kind of like when we were talking about kind of like with Dark Phoenix, where we're kind of like, yep, we've established the Beast Mystique relationship here, so we can do whatever we want
check.
from there. Kind of a similar sense with some of the things in Stranger Things. They're like,
Agreed.
yep, we established that, so now we can just build on it without making sure everyone's up to speed.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It just, some of that just didn't work.
I'm sorry, you busy checking your messages on your phone?
No, I'm playing the Hamilton lottery.
Oh, for God's sake! You're doing the trivia
Yeah, the trivia, yeah.
during the show? Wow!
It just popped up on the
Wow.
phone. I had to take care of it before it went away.
The trivia's there all day.
Oh, is it?
It's today's trivia.
Oh. Sorry about that. How about Dustin? What do you have about Dustin?
He was
season.
Dustin.
Well, he got a girlfriend. That was new.
He did that. I mean, that was kind of
Was he
weird.
always that smart?
I don't recall.
Like he seemed way smarter to me. Like
Well, he just came back from engineering camp, so that must have made
Yeah,
him
I
really
also
smart.
Well, I mean,
Expect
I
that to
guess
be
a
a
month
thing.
of engineering camp might turn you into Einstein.
I think
I'm not
so.
saying he
Or,
seemed
like,
dumb
more
in
of a-
previous seasons, but he seemed like Lex Luthor level intelligent all of a sudden.
Yeah,
It felt like a big
He's been mind
jump
played.
for him.
yeah. Again, that's. I'd have to go
He
back
wasn't
and
mind
again.
flayed, though.
I'd have to go back to season 1 and 2 to see
Yeah.
whether they're
Until they flash back to
or
it.
listen to our discussion of season 1 and
Yeah. Season 2 will be
to
hard
see if they
listen to.
establish that. But
Just gonna keep just hammering that home.
One of the
it's
things
been
I
100 and some odd episodes. Haven't you figured out our pattern yet?
No.
Okay.
one of the things I liked about season 3.
I'm
Well,
sorry. One of the things
But the
or
thing-
the one thing?
The thing I liked about season
Okay.
3 was
It's over.
it was clearly trying to make a political statement about women and their status in society.
Yes. I have a
and
fair foul about that.
The empowerment of women. Okay, can you read it in just a minute? Can I finish my thought on Dustin first?
Oh, on Dustin? Okay.
Yeah. For all they wanted to do with female empowerment, though, Dustin's girlfriend, not really a winner in terms of making that argument. He calls her on the radio. He says, "The end of the world is nigh. If you don't give me Planck's formula,
Planck's
or Planck's
constant.
number, Planck's constant,
Planck's constant.
if you don't give me Planck's thingamajig, the world's going to end." She will not cooperate until she coerces him into singing their romantic song together, and then she gives him the number. I've read people online saying it was really funny.
That moment did not
I
work for
watched
me.
that, and it was
Yeah.
not. I was like, it was not funny. I'm like, are you effing kidding me?
Yeah, everyone. There's like a never-ending story challenge now. That's like people singing that song to each other. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the moment we're focusing on from this season.
I just thought that was a.
'Cause that
I
felt
thought that was a
really-
bad moment.
Yeah, it was not.
and not good for women either.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'll help you save the world, honey buns, but first you have to sing our song together. Yuck.
It's like people are literally dying in the streets.
Right?
When-
Yeah, and she's just like
Yeah.
insisting on never-ending story. It's not a good look for her.
It's not a great moment. Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't talked about Nancy yet. Or do you want to do the?
I can do my fair foul.
and then we'll come back to Nancy.
Yeah. So this is from John Doyle at the Globe and Mail.
The Globe and Mail.
It's a little bit long.
Oh boy, I don't like the long ones. They're hard to keep track of.
So
Yeah.
now there's a show talking about Stranger Things 3
Okay.
that, on conclusion, you can say takes a distinct new path with its young female characters. It's not revolutionary, and it's not overtly advocating for anything. But it was once a bromance about endearingly geeky boys and one inscrutable girl. Now it isn't. There's no huge cultural shift happening here. What the Duffer Brothers have done is pull back from a boys' adventure drama and present female characters who are at first lacking agency and then given plenty of scope to flourish in all their strength and smarts.
I think the general idea of that is fair.
Yeah, they
That
don't really go overtly about it.
and
Says the guy who's only watched 3 episodes.
I think they're doing it fairly overtly. I don't think that it's revolutionary.
Yeah.
Like, this has been trending in American culture. Well, obviously, like since the feminist movement at a minimum.
Yeah.
But more recently with Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel, like the Duffers are hardly like at the head of this train,
Right.
trying to make a political statement about empowering women. So it's not revolutionary
Right.
in that way. I think it's right in saying
Well,
it's not
and when you
revolutionary.
mentioned kind of the references to Alien.
Yeah.
I mean, they're even sort of referencing stuff from the time period that was doing this.
Right, Alien is kind of stands out
Yeah.
as
And Ripley, yeah.
a female action hero. So I think that's generally fair.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, the stories focused on women are more interesting than the guys.
Yeah, the guys are
Besides
not...
Dustin, I find Mike dislikable.
Yeah.
I find Lucas not particularly well developed.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for Will, because all that guy gets to do, literally, the entire season, is rub the back of his neck and then say, he's here.
Well, and the other
Like,
thing...
that is,
yeah.
that's, he does
No,
it
the
8
other thing he
times.
gets
I'm
to
like,
do... The only other thing he gets to do...
he's like Hawkeye with the bow.
No.
It's like his moment, his signature.
Yeah.
No. The other thing that
lame
was...
as
There was that
Hawkeyes.
one moment when he and Mike are talking to each other, and Mike says something about, it's not my fault that you don't like girls.
Right.
Which I
Yeah.
thought, okay, so are they setting up Will...
Yes.
and then they do nothing else with it.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so is that...
Well, you know why they couldn't do anything else with it? because he had to rub his neck and say he's
Yeah,
here.
yeah. It was.
You know, it was just like,
I was like, are we maybe? I was kind of hoping we were going to do something with Will, kind of, you know, and kind of closeted homosexuality.
Nope.
But nope. And I also like because that in kind of thinking
maybe
about
that's season 4?
Oh,
maybe.
5?
Well, but the
Yeah,
other
oh
thing
my
too
God,
that
help
that
us. Ugh.
Will, I mean, the way in which that Will, because this is one of the things that in terms of, you know, I mentioned kind of how the pop culture that they referenced by and large was of a more, I guess, adult variety than in previous seasons.
Yeah.
That in some ways, Will's the one that still remains sort of wedded to
Right.
the more sort of childlike
His
innocence.
friends are growing up.
Yeah, and like he's kind of remains wedded to like what they were doing in seasons past.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if I'm like, are they trying, like, we're moving into a time of lost innocence with
Yeah.
the kids that Will in some ways is trying to hold on to.
Yeah. Well, I think they're yes, they're gesturing towards that. But I
Yeah.
just like the kids. I
I mean,
find-
for someone of Will's age to be so desperately clinging to wanting to play Dungeons and Dragons
how old is he?
with people that don't want to play Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah.
or at least are doing so reluctantly.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like he's almost forcing his Dungeons and Dragons on a group of friends that are too smart, too mature.
I don't need to be here.
Boy, that was well played.
Thank
it was,
you.
It was the
Thank
long
you.
play, the
Oh,
setup, like
oh,
it built.
it was such a
it
slow
built
build.
slowly. You could
Oh, yeah.
you could just see it registering.
Okay,
Like
I'm done.
by
What else do you want to
degrees.
talk about? I'm good.
Richard's-
I'm in.
I don't need. I got things I could be doing.
God, you wish that kid would grow up, don't you?
Oh, it's just so sad.
I ain't that long. It sound like my dad.
There's one more character one more character I want to talk about before we move on to the recap of season 2.
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
to me, is the real standout in Stranger Things as an actor and as a character. I think she is heads above anybody else in the show.
Even 11? I say Millie Bobby Brown is
11
a
would be-
really good actor.
Agreed, but I find Nancy a more interesting character than Elle.
Well, that I mean,
just do,
Elle.
you know,
I mean,
and
we
so-
do see a little bit of
Yeah.
development in Elle's character, but
It's
she's
true, but-
still
right.
there. She's still got the awkwardness and kind of the. I mean, Max
it-
kind of helps
Right.
move her a little bit further, but
It
Elle.
might be, and it might be that Natalia Dyer, who plays Nancy,
Yeah.
has more to work with.
Yeah.
But I just think, like, when I watch the show, she's the one that I want to watch on the screen. I think she's a terrific actor.
Yeah.
She, to me, we talked about this before, just embodies the 80s. Like, of all the characters, her look, her demeanor.
I would say her and her mom.
Yeah.
In terms of, at least her mom in
Yes.
terms of the look of the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, she just.
'Cause I
she-
think they've both
she
got, like, the shoulder
captures it.
pads and-
Yeah. And, like, in a way that just is like, I know
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in the 80s.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Oh, no, I totally agree.
To me, the way they use her to embody the 80s is way more clever than the way they're using music this season, for example.
No, okay.
The music's easy.
Yeah.
With Nancy, there's something more sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
I have a casting suggestion for you for Nancy. She should totally be cast
Oh. Kitty Pryde?
as Kitty Pryde.
I was going to say, I have a feeling I know
Right?
where you're going.
Like she would
Yeah, she would be a really good Kitty Pryde.
like if they make an X-Men at any point in the near future,
Yeah.
she should be Kitty
She would
Pryde.
be a really, yeah, she would
Like,
be a really good Kitty Pryde.
in an 80s Kitty Pryde kind
Oh,
of way.
yeah. Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like she maybe that's why like I loved Kitty Pryde in the 80s. Like
Right.
such an interesting character. And maybe that's like I see this like simpatico kind of energy
Yeah.
between the two of that. Maybe that's why I like Nancy
Yeah.
so much, but she should be Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, no, I can, I can totally see that.
And then her battle with the patriarchy in her role as an intern
Yeah.
at the newspaper, it's a bit heavy-handed at
I
times
mean, that was-
because the Duffers are doing it.
It is a bit heavy. Yeah, well, particularly the over-the-top sexism at the newspaper
Yes.
office.
But Vicky could tell you stories about the 1980s.
Yeah.
That would blow your mind.
Oh, it wouldn't-
right?
yeah.
That it feels really over the top in those scenes.
Yeah.
And yet Vicky has told me about the way she was treated in the 80s when she was
Yeah.
a young kid,
Yeah.
by police officers and people who are in charge.
Yeah.
And so to me, it felt heavy-handed, but there was a truth to it
Yeah.
that I really
For me, pretty much
appreciated.
any time you put Jake Busey in a role,
Yeah.
it's going to be a little
Oh.
heavy-handed.
The thing is, I I appreciate the show taking it on, and when Nancy
Yeah.
brains
Oh,
Jake
yeah.
Busey with the fire extinguisher, it's cathartic for the whole audience.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody watching is like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
when she does that. That was, I thought, a good moment. I think, though the rise of Nancy as a kind
Yeah.
of a presence in the series was bad, as I mentioned earlier, for Jonathan, who I think
Oh,
really
gotcha,
gets pushed aside.
Well, I mean, you've got to kind of. I mean, Jonathan is such. Again, he's just so kind of meh
Yeah,
that the more Nancy sort of grows and develops,
yeah.
is she going to be content with that?
You would hope not.
Like their relationship does not seem.
Nope.
Which I guess they are kind of broken up now because he's moved.
Yeah.
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 And I guess they did sort of break up temporarily. But yeah, I don't see. You're right, because I mean, in a lot of ways, Joyce, Joyce, Will,
Yeah.
Jonathan, like that entire family all kind of stayed the same.
Yeah. Except Will had something on his neck.
Yeah, well,
Ugh.
his flair sense isn't really all that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, like the fact that they were, when they're all in the cabin, they're like, oh, the mind flayer has figured out where we are, and I'm like, you went to Hopper's cabin.
Yeah. Like,
There's only so many places you kids have to go.
yeah, the mind flayer doesn't have to be like,
Like-
the world's greatest detective.
Yeah, like that's pretty
Yeah,
easy to
especially
figure
if
out.
you're taking with so many people, eventually it's going to find somebody who knows where the cabin is.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm just like that. Just seems really kind of not a good choice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Agreed.
okay, so meet at the cabin, but then leave like right away.
Anywhere randomly in the woods.
Yeah.
Would kind of be better.
Yeah.
Go like half a mile in a direction, and then they'll
Yeah.
just pass you by going to the
Yeah.
cabin.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was a little bit
Yeah. Agreed.
strange.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where we are in terms of time, but
Not
I've
a
got
clue.
I've got a little bit more to throw at you.
Okay.
Oh wait, before that,
Yes.
another theory about the ending part, about the American.
Yes.
It's Bob.
Pretty sure Bob got eaten.
Barb.
Oh, did you say Barb?
Yeah.
Oh.
How?
Yeah. Okay, if they bring Barb back, I have more interest in season 4 than I currently have.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't think
I-
they're bringing Barb
I feel
back.
like Barb is dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it would
But-
just be great if somehow.
Plus, Barb is pretty employed right now at Riverdale with those bit appearances as Ethel.
I see. I can't remember. Is she still alive at the end of the season?
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Because she was definitely caught up in the,
In the whole.
Griffins and Gargoyles.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they all disappeared. Well, she was caught up in the whole.
Yeah.
What's the church? Not the church, but the.
Oh, the hippie.
Yeah, wasn't she
compound.
part of that?
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah,
But they escaped. She and
they all disappeared
yeah. So we don't know.
except for the one gay guy,
Anyway,
which
I-
that's great.
Yeah, I think we don't want to talk about Riverdale because I got something better.
Okay.
Nobody knows this because it happened on a podcast
Yes.
that has been since lost to the ages.
Oh wait, I've got a very important fair or foul for
Oh,
you.
go for it.
Because this, I really have to talk about this one. This is from Vulture.com. I
Okay.
think I know your answer.
Okay.
Since Stranger Things 3 dropped on Netflix, there has been some discussion online about whether a fourth season, which technically has not been confirmed yet by Netflix, might involve time travel.
Is that it?
Oh,
Yes.
if there's time travel, I just don't see how I can possibly live with
Well,
it.
just because I think that's from the article that was about all of the resonances with Back to the Future.
I feel like they're not going to do time travel. I'd be surprised.
You
I
hope
mean,
they're not going to do time
yeah.
travel.
Maybe that's it. It might if
They
they
could,
take
they could say that the Upside Down is like some sort of multiverse and like.
right, but
like,
if they
Yeah, it's another
yeah,
dimension.
no, I hear what you're saying, but if they take what was a rather ho-hum season 3
And add time
and
travel.
add time travel to it, you're going to have a
just
hard
gets
time
better.
talking me into doing this on the show again.
But again, didn't what's his face in explaining the Upside Down in season 1, the teacher,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You
use
fooled it
almost
over.
the exact same explanation that they use in Flash for time travel,
It did involve drawing a straight line. So,
and
yeah.
and punching a thing
Right.
through, and boom, upside down.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So maybe it's been
And
time
like Back to
travel
the
all this
Future,
time.
When they do, timeline skews.
Yeah.
So, I see time travel happening.
I just saw that. I was like, oh, I'm not sure anything could make the show
It would make
less
me-
compelling to Alan.
No. That will be the end of it
Then
for me.
the addition
I hope
of
the
time
Duffers are
travel.
listening. Hey, special bonus.
Yes.
From season 2, Stranger Things,
Yes.
I brought you a list of quiz questions about the 1980s.
Yes.
Somebody's lost all of them.
Which I'm pretty sure I nailed.
But I'm thinking we can recapture the old
I'm
magic
pretty
of what
sure we
was
can.
a great episode.
Yes.
Now
Once like
lost.
season 3, we captured the magic of season 2.
Just like a
Well, it could go wrong, but let's see. We can always cut it.
Right.
So here's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I just, as we were going through season 2, anything that was 80s-ish that it kind of struck me,
Yes.
I pulled it out, and now I ask you questions about it.
okay.
So in season 2, we meet the Burnout sister, Max. Billy
Yes.
is the Burnout. His sister is Max. By the way, a Burnout is a...
Wait, okay, because you sound like you're referring to Max as the burnout there. The way
No,
you said
we
that.
meet the Burnout's sister.
See, I missed the s on burnout. It sounded like you said burnout
No,
sister.
the Burnout's sister.
Gotcha.
The Burnout's sister, Max.
Right.
By the way, Burnout would never be, I don't think, a lifeguard. Didn't strike me as realistic for season 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's really great at the video game Dig Dug.
Oh, Dig Dug.
What was the best 80s arcade video game?
Ooh.
See, it's a harder quiz than you thought it was going to
No,
be.
no, no. I'm pretty sure I would have said Galaga last time.
I think you
love
did say
I
Galaga.
love me some Galaga.
Is that the one where you like bugs flew down at you and you would shoot them?
Yes, that's Galaga.
Yeah, that's a.
I
great
also
game.
really like
Bobby,
Zaxxon.
Bobby loves
Yeah.
Galaga
What
still.
about
Like,
Sinistar?
what? What was Sinistar? I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know either. I like to
What
also
about
remember
80s video games?
Yeah, it's not
you remember
video game.
Zaxxon.
No, what was Zaxxon?
That was one where you're flying a spaceship through like a 3D
oh,
environment.
yeah.
I love they had Zaxxon at the Round Table Pizza.
That,
Where
you
we
know,
would go, and I would always go, and that was awesome pizza.
that was the best part about a pizza joint like that in the 80s is they would have
Yeah.
2 video game machines.
Oh, no.
in
The Round
back.
Table had like 5.
Sweet.
Yeah, we would always go there, and I'd be like, I've got quarters.
So you weren't
I got corner.
you weren't a Centipede guy?
Oh, no, I love Centipede.
Centipede was, I always liked
I
Centipede.
love
yeah,
Centipede.
was
Oh,
a-
with the little
'cause
spinny ball.
The spinny ball
I
was
loved
like
the
it was
spinny
like
ball.
like the technology of the spin
Like,
ball.
oh, yeah, oh,
was
gonna
just
go
like-
really fast. Yep.
I also think the golf game too.
I don't remember.
Because
The
it
only
had
one I remember
the-
having the spinny
because it had
ball.
the spinny
Golf
ball.
game I
Yeah.
played. That one.
It was because this is one of the things I think I remember when we were talking about
Yeah.
Stranger Things 2. The first opening scene where they're all like gathering up all
Yeah.
of their quarters and whatnot. I was
Yeah.
like, what game could they be like? It's Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they went to play. The animated
Yeah.
sucked at that game.
What about Frogger?
Everyone's.
I never played that game,
Oh, we played Frogger relentlessly, more
Yeah.
on the Atari than on like
Yeah.
the arcade.
but kind of a lame game if you think about it.
I like
some
Frogger.
of those. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but the idea of Frogger, like 80s video games could be pretty bad, I
Yeah.
guess.
What about Pitfall?
When Pitfall came out for Atari,
Yes.
and
I
it had
love-
like 3 different screens, it felt like an open world to me.
Oh yeah, it did.
No, seriously, compared to like Pac-Man or
Oh,
Donkey
man.
Kong or
I was
whatever.
very excited when
or
when
Frogger, it was just
when
like
you actually managed to survive the full 20 minutes.
yeah, it's just like
And then you go to that, to like, Red
Yeah.
Dead Redemption 2 or whatever, like one of the newer modern
jumping on the
ones.
crocodile heads.
Yeah, crocodile. Oh, yeah, I hated the crocodile heads.
yeah,
I hated the scorpions
yeah.
in the underground.
Yeah, you have to go underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would play Pit. I would get up in the morning,
Yeah.
play Pitfall.
We used to go. There was when I was a kid, a Chuck E. Cheese opened up, and it had like it must have had 20 or 30 video games,
Yeah.
but it just felt like just like the greatest place on earth.
Yeah, now this is a little bit later than the 80s, I think, but Gauntlet.
Yeah,
That was another game I loved.
I liked the
Can you guess
professional
which
wrestling
Can
game.
you guess which character I played in Gauntlet?
I don't remember the Gauntlet characters.
wait, no, I can.
Oh, wait, the Archer.
Yeah, the Archer.
Yeah.
Oh, Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Now,
It was like the 4-player game that you could do.
Oh, yeah, that was like
Loved Gauntlet.
Yeah.
that was like the alternate version because you have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the Simpsons game, and then it was like Gauntlet, which would be like the fantasy version. Of
Yeah.
that.
So,
All right. So
Love
question
this.
number 2.
okay.
In season 2, they have a debate over the Three Musketeers candy bar, kind of like they did with New Coke.
Right.
So we could do New Coke next, but first, what are the best 3 candy bars?
The best 3?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're wrong on all of them, if I remember correctly.
I love Three Musketeers.
Okay, that's the Three Musketeers is like the generic candy
love
bar.
Three
If you're gonna do that,
Musketeers.
why not do a Milky Way?
I hate Milky Way.
Why would you? But the Milky Way just is the Three Musketeers with
No,
like caramel.
it's no,
I
no.
like the
It's
Musketeers.
the Milky Way. The nougat in the Milky Way is much harder than. It's not as cloud-like as the Three Musketeers.
Yeah, the Three
Musketeers
Musketeers.
is
It's like
much
it's like you're not eating anything.
So okay, Three
So Three
Musketeers.
Musketeers is wrong.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup,
That's not a bad one, but it's not top 3.
and
Snickers is number- yeah, absolutely.
I would probably go Butterfinger.
Butterfinger is disgusting.
Oh,
Like
Butterfinger's
Butterfinger
fantastic.
is the most disgusting candy bar.
I like when you have a Butterfinger, then you got all the stuff stuck in your teeth, and you got to pry it out with your tongue.
I have not eaten enough Butterfinger to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are probably my top 3.
So I would say Snickers.
That's wrong.
Oh,
Snickers.
Crunch Bar.
No, a Crunch Bar.
Yeah, no, Snickers.
That's like just like a Hershey's bar. Is that what's next on your
Snickers-
list? Come on, like get some sophistication.
What are you
It's like
guys
chocolate
doing?
with Rice Krispies thrown in. Like Rice Krispies have no flavor.
They're not supposed to have flavor. They're supposed to be crunchy. They're chocolate for the flavor.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
It's a
Snickers.
terrible
No,
choice.
I don't like.
Snickers number
the,
1.
The peanuts are too big in Snickers. It bothers me.
Number 2.
If you say Milky Way,
No, Milky Way not be in the top 3, but I would say the 100 grand bar.
Ugh,
that's not one. I don't think I ever had that. So
You
I
never
can't.
had a 100 grand bar?
Don't think so. No.
disgusting.
I'm pretty sure that was your reaction on the previous podcast.
Yeah, like how could
too.
you not have had a 100 grand
I don't
bar?
think I had a 100 grand
They
bar.
are delicious, and they have some Rice Krispies in them, don't they? I think.
Yeah, with along with a bunch of other stuff.
And caramel, and what else, Vicky?
molasses.
There's no molasses in them.
Molasses.
Candy bar.
I see. I thought you were going to say like Mounds or almond.
Oh
Joy.
God, no! Those are awful.
Anything with
What about
coconut
Oh
is
yeah.
immediately
Oh, coconut is
What
awful.
about Charleston Chew?
no interest in Charleston Chew.
God.
3 for me would be
Yeah, the coconut stuff can just be right at the table.
what about like a Kit Kat?
I do like Kit Kats.
Kit
Kit Kats are up
bars,
there for
yeah.
me.
I don't
Break me
know.
off a piece of that.
Kit Kat bar.
They're kind of dull.
Yeah, break.
It just reminds me of the Office episode where Andy can't remember the song.
It's so great. It is awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody tell him.
Yeah, it's great. Just drives
Break
him
me
nuts.
off a piece of that.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Yeah,
so we,
yeah. For me, Three Musketeers.
So we still disagree.
Definitely Three
Yeah.
Musketeers, Reese's. Right now I'm saying Butterfinger, but there might be other things that could slide in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. For me, it's Snickers. Like Snickers is always my number 1 choice.
Yeah, I don't. Snickers I just
But
found really bland.
100 grand is a sneaky
Ugh.
number 2.
What about the whatchamacallit? Remember
Never
whatchamacallit?
like the whatchamacallit had too much going on.
Yeah.
It's like the anti-rich. Rich wants like nothing in his candy bar. The whatchamacallit wanted like everything in its candy bar.
Wow.
Find a happy medium.
Rich has a whatchamacallit, just blows his mind. I'm in another dimension.
I'm just saying the
Got like
candy
the
counter.
80s.
Yeah.
Like chocolate and something that has a flavor mixed together.
So, yeah.
Weird. All right, so Nancy.
Yes.
Oh, wait, first, new Coke. Like, so best soda from the 80s.
Oh, Coke Classic.
Coke, absolutely.
Yeah,
That
like
we
the
agree on.
original Coke. Yeah.
Do not say new Coke.
I don't know what New Coke is.
Didn't you say earlier that New Coke was
No,
good?
no.
He
I
was
was
just being a
arguing with
jerk.
you for the sake of arguing.
Oh,
Yeah.
good lord.
So you seem more like a Pepsi guy.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really care.
No, Rich does the
You don't care?
I like Coke because it's red and that's my favorite color, but otherwise, they both taste the same.
That is
Your face.
That is-
Your face.
that is the most
I
up-
almost-
that's more
I almost
appalling than
thought you
picking
were
a
gonna hit
Crunch
me.
bar.
I
Wouldn't you?
thought
Would
you were
you
gonna
agree,
hit me.
right? To say they taste the same is the most
Wait, what did you say?
ridiculous
Taste,
com-
did you say
Pepsi
Coke and
Coke.
Pepsi
Pepsi.
taste the same? Oh my god! Well,
Right,
I thought
see,
you were
thank
upset
you.
about the fact that he chose it based on the color of the can.
Well, that too, but
Coke is red. I'm like, no, actually, Coke is brown.
yeah.
No,
The can is
But
red.
the can is red. But Coke is
Oh god,
way
no!
better than
Pepsi is
Pepsi.
like diabetes in a can. Like it's just so sweet.
Rich once told me that if you did a taste test and you didn't
Oh, I
see the
should've
cans
bought-
in
yeah.
front of you, that we could not tell the difference.
I think we
between
talked about
Coke
that on
and
the
Pepsi.
podcast, yeah.
we
Yeah.
could totally
well, no,
do
because
that.
we did do
We
one,
could totally.
and nobody could tell the difference, like statistically.
No.
Who did one?
That's
Like I don't know. one
You
of
and
the
a bunch of
bastards.
Crunch Bar eaters?
yeah.
Like, there's no palate there.
Listen, I
Like,
can
there's
tell
no-
the
there's
difference
no
between
development of the
Coke, between
palate.
Pepsi, and Shasta.
Oh, there's
Because
there's
Shasta
a
always had
taste
that bad aftertaste.
Well, my parents only bought the Diet Shasta,
Oh,
which
God,
like really
even worse.
amplified. Like
Yeah.
you would,
It's
we would,
like-
we would drink cases of that orange, and it didn't taste like orange at all.
Oh, we drank
now that I
cases
think
of the
about
root.
it.
I liked the root beer Shasta. That
Yeah.
was the one that my grandparents always
That's
had
what
Shasta
we
when
need.
we went to visit them in
We need to have,
California.
you know, Pepsi Coke, and then like a blind third one where it's just
Shasta.
like Shasta's mixed in.
Although, if we're clear, the best soda is Werner's.
What?
I do like Werner's, but is ginger ale soda?
Yeah, it's soda.
I'm sure I think of it as a soda.
It's like a ginger ale.
I think
like a
ginger
mid-
ale
it's a
is not really
Midwestern-
like in a
it's
separate category.
Like we knew it in the Midwest. It seemed like more of a Midwestern
Ginger
thing.
ale's no good.
Yeah,
Well,
I do like the
ginger ale is
Werner's.
definitely a
You have
soda.
introduced me to the Werner's. I do like the Werner's.
Werner's is my
I would still
favorite.
put Coke above it because I love Coke. A cola.
I don't really drink. I don't drink Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Much at all, but like it's almost I'd rather have it for dessert than anything right
Yeah,
now.
but yeah,
Like, it's
Coke
that
is
good.
is. I mean, I will drink
not
Pepsi,
Pepsi.
but Pepsi's just way
Right,
sugary.
Pepsi's what you drink if you need caffeine and there's no Coke available.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, soda's soda.
I want to see if you remember the answer you gave to this question.
Okay.
Because it blew my mind.
Okay.
Nancy is a really awesome 80s younger leading lady. Mm-hmm. Right? Pop quiz. What's the best 80s younger leading lady?
I'm pretty sure I said Alyssa Milano.
No, you did not.
I did not?
No.
Who else would it be besides Alyssa Milano?
We talked about, was it Molly Ringwald? You said
Mm.
no. Is it Ali Sheedy?
No.
You said no.
Oh, did I say Mayor Winningham from St. Elmo's Fire? That's the one I had the crush on.
You said Mayor Winningham.
No, I just because I had a crush on her for some reason from St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah, okay, number one, that was a terrible movie.
I love St. Elmo's Fire.
It's still bad.
Such a good movie. It's got a great song.
So
Wanna be your man
over
in
Julia
motion.
Roberts or Demi Moore or Ali Sheedy or Molly Ringwald, you chose Mayor Winningham.
I had a crush on Mayor Winningham. Yes.
I don't get it. Pop quiz. What's your favorite 80s show where a car played a key role?
Geez.
It's harder than you think
Yeah,
when you
because
start thinking about it.
there's two.
Well, I guess.
There's two that I would say. It would either be Dukes of Hazzard or Knight Rider.
What about Transformers? Why is that not an option?
I was thinking a TV show, and I wasn't thinking cartoon, but you could
Yeah.
pick Transformers if you wanted to, but I still wouldn't pick Transformers.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, to me, it's the Dukes all day.
Yeah, I
I
love the
never
Dukes.
loved Knight Rider. I would
Yeah,
watch it if
I mean,
it was on,
I had
but
the,
it was
I
not-
had the Dukes of Hazzard board game. I had Dukes of Hazzard
Wait,
play card
I
game.
can't even imagine what the objective in the Dukes of
You don't
Hazzard
have that
board
No,
game is.
there's the episode of CSI that Quentin Tarantino directed.
Yeah.
It
Sure.
opens with two of the characters playing the Dukes of Hazzard board game. I'm like, I had that game.
So what's the objective?
I think it's like life, or kind of like it's like you're supposed to go around the board and not get caught. I played.
You still have it?
No, I don't have it.
Oh, like that's what I need to play on the
Were
show.
you a Roscoe P. Coltrane or an Enos guy?
I preferred Flash.
Come on, Flash. I
Love
loved
Flash.
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Yeah.
The Dukes would go zipping by, and he'd turn to Flash and go, come
Yeah.
on, Flash, and they'd take off after the Dukes.
Yeah.
Go,
Yeah, I
oh,
did.
man, Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
love Dukes of Hazzard.
So we agree then on that, too. The
Yeah.
Dukes beat Knight Rider.
Yeah, I would probably go Dukes over Knight. I mean, I was much more of a devout Dukes fan than Knight Rider.
Yeah, and Hasselhoff's career trajectory afterwards doesn't elevate Knight Rider. I don't think.
Does
They disappeared, which was better.
yeah? Okay. I'm like
It
they
was
didn't
better
really
to
have-
disappear.
The heroes fade away and like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and then I think they came back on Smallville. Yeah, because John Schneider played Pa Kent.
I know somebody who had a huge crush on Bo Duke.
Really? I wonder who
Yes.
that could be.
John Schneider.
Oh my god.
It was Hope, wasn't it?
No. I think he had was a huge fan.
Wait, I gotta make a comment. Yeah, I had the biggest crush. So I wrote in my diary,
Yes.
Bo Duke. I love Bo Duke, but I spelled it bow, like
Yeah.
the tree bough.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Because she hadn't yet met me and the Austin, sort of the Southern Austins, where you understand. Like my dad's nickname growing up was Bo. Like that's what they called him.
Yeah.
And of course, like I knew it was B-O because that's how you spell Bo. But when you grew up in a Tony place like Sylvania, you didn't meet a lot of bows. But you knew a tree bow.
Yeah, thanks to the Dukes of Hazzard boys, I found my husband.
Really? So you would, which Duke would you say I was, Bo
He
or
had a
Luke?
mullet, so you know.
You're one of
They
the
didn't have
cousins
a
that came in and replaced them for that one season.
I
Cody
didn't
and
wa-
Vance.
I did not watch that season. So.
I only know it because my brother-in-law Valerie's husband, one of
Yeah.
the things that he wanted for his like Christmas gift was Dukes of Hazzard on DVD, and I think I eventually got him all of them, including the Cody and Vance years.
Yeah. I can't
Just-
imagine they even made a DVD of the Cody.
Oh,
and
they
Vance.
did, yeah,
It would
they
just seem
did.
like we can just skip that one.
Yeah,
'Cause we're gonna
no,
sell
they-
like 12,
season 6,
12
season
units.
8, you
yeah.
know, and it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
everyone's like that's for the best.
Yeah. Isn't that that's what makes America great? That those two guys could go on strike because they weren't getting enough.
Mm-hmm.
Is Bo and Luke Duke?
Right.
Ugh, Boss Hog, classic stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right,
Love
the,
Dukes of Hazzard.
The other thing we did on season 2, because we're going to be over 2 hours by the
Okay.
time we're done if we're not careful, is I had you rate the 80s based on a series of references that were made
Okay.
during season 2.
Okay.
So just, you're a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
so do you want to score it on a scale of 0 to 100?
Okay.
We'll say like a 90 is like an A minus.
Can I just give it like A's, B's, C, D?
Is that what you'd rather do?
That's probably easier.
Okay, I don't want to strain you.
Yeah.
Rate the 80s. He-Man.
The movie was included in this? Or?
Just the
Just
I'm
big-
assuming you
just
mean like the,
He-Man.
yeah, I would say B minus.
He
C
was
plus.
more the cartoon.
I was never a big He-Man fan.
I'd give him a C minus. Like I
Yeah.
just He-Man never connected to
I
me.
think
Yeah.
an A for Skeletor. For the character Skeletor.
Look who's come to life all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like he knows something about the '80s.
yeah.
That's hurt.
Boy,
That wasn't needed.
it wasn't knitted.
That wasn't needed.
Yeah. Yeah, He-Man, not a big He-Man fan.
Okay, Rat, especially their single
Oh,
Round and Round.
Oh, that is an A+.
That's an A plus. That
That
might be
is-
an A plus plus.
Freaking love that song.
Vicky
That
tells
video-
the story of Rat coming on the radio.
Because what
I
is
think.
it? Is Milton Berle?
He is.
Because I think the lead singer is related to Milton Berle. That's how they got them into.
There was a connection somehow, and Milton Berle, who hadn't been like in pop
Yeah.
culture for decades,
yeah,
showed up and they're eating.
dinner. Yeah,
Dinner.
He's both the husband and the wife, isn't he?
Yes, well,
Yeah.
because of course he was famous for playing people
Yeah.
in drag, and yeah,
And then there's like the
woman comes out of cobwebs.
Yeah,
or
exactly. That whole
something.
weird. Yeah, that video made no sense, but that is a great song.
It was great.
who the
yeah,
Rats?
not the Rats.
They're just Rat, R-A-T-T. Yeah, they
Rat
are.
with two Ts.
That Round and Round is one of those.
It's an '80s anthem.
Yeah, it is. But it's also one of the like that they could have done nothing else.
Yes.
But that song is it's kind of like Aha's Take on Me.
Yes.
Like it's so quintessentially 80s.
Absolutely. Of all the big hair metal stuff,
Yeah,
in some
like
ways,
that's-
Round and Round feels like
Yeah,
ground
like-
zero for.
It is, yeah. Like
80s
such a great round and
pop
round.
metal.
Yeah, he had such a distinct voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Goes around, comes. Yeah.
Had that song Back for More that started with acoustic guitar, which like I'd never heard
Yeah,
before.
ra-
God, you can play acoustic and then
Round and
transition
Round
too.
exhausts my knowledge of the Rat
You
catalog.
don't know Back for
I
More?
don't think so.
Wow.
Maybe.
I'd
But
play
yeah,
it for
ra-
you, but we'd probably get in trouble.
But
with
yeah,
it.
round. Yeah. Oh, that is an A plus.
Royalties,
Round
yeah.
and Round A plus.
All right. Next one on the list. Grade the saying from the 1980s.
Ooh.
Your ass is grass.
Mm,
I don't know.
You don't know your ass is grass?
A minus B plus. That one.
It means you're in trouble, you know?
That
like-
one's had a lot of. That one's had legs.
Song was saying.
No, it's a saying.
It's a saying like.
Oh,
Like if I'm going to
I thought
beat you
that
up,
was
one of the
like-
things I might say is
Yeah.
your ass is grass.
Or say, for example, in an 80s movie kind of way, Patrick skipped school, but his assistant principal caught him and said to Patrick, you have to come to the office tomorrow. Patrick's friend would say to Patrick, oh man, your ass is grass.
Yeah, the premise is flawed in that it's built on the idea of me skipping school.
Right. It's an 80s movie, which were
Yeah.
repeatedly built on flawed premises.
Yes, I mean I would not have that kind of a day off.
No?
See what I did there?
Yeah, I know, but so
Okay.
I know you'd never Bueller it.
Yes.
But what I'm asking is, would you
Would you take a day off?
would you
know,
skip it?
build
You never
Legos?
skip a day of class.
I skipped one day of college.
What was the topic that you were avoiding?
I wasn't. I had a paper due in another class, so I skipped my psych class.
But see, even
It was
then,
my. But here's the thing.
even
it
then,
was
it's a
my
story of virtue.
It was my No, it's actually no. So I skipped my history of psychology class. The day I skipped is the day he brought in a hypnotist and had them hypnotize people.
So you learned a lesson.
Like I missed the coolest day of the class. It was a good class generally, but I missed the coolest day of the
Yeah.
class.
Sorry.
Because I had a paper due, I think, in my English class later that day that I just was not done.
Got it. All right, so Billy shows up on Rate the 80s repeatedly. So
Okay.
the first one, smoking and working out at the same time.
It's a bad combo.
It's a big...
Oh, but that's so 80.
Right,
It's,
so
it's not even so.
it's
I
an
literally see
F
people on the
for fitness.
levee riding their bikes, smoking sometimes. I'm like,
Neepaw.
yeah, I know. It's very,
Well,
very
like,
80s or
the
NEPA.
idea is you exercise to work
Oh,
off
there's a
things and
debate.
cigarette.
Is
Right.
it the 80s or is it NEPA?
We'll do that down the road.
Tornadoes.
Look, that's a
So
10 there.
yeah, it's an F
Yeah.
in real life, but
An A
as
plus,
it
plus
as
in the
embodying the
Oh, it's
80s,
very much an
it's
embodiment
it's
of the
an A
80s.
plus.
Yeah. It's totally what we do.
Smoking doing anything.
Right.
Which apparently Netflix is
Yes,
planning to tone down on the smoking
There
in
was
the
a
next
lot of
season of Stranger
smoking
Things.
this time around.
That's
How
How
about
down, you eliminate completely.
Well,
next
they
pop
killed
quiz?
Hopper, so
Oh,
he was most of the smoking.
next pop quiz. Bon Jovi's "Runaway,"
Oh, I love Runaway. That is maybe
not-
my favorite Bon Jovi song.
but it's not.
even
quite-
though it's not one
it
that they.
doesn't embody like round and round, like round and
No,
round.
it does. It's a little shy of it.
But "Runaway" is a
I
great
love
song.
Runaway.
I don't know if I knew that one.
The first real rock concert I saw.
Yeah.
Because like the first one would have been like Laura Branigan, which probably doesn't count as rock.
Remember who you're talking to.
Oh, yeah. So you would see it as heavy metal, but a lot of people
Laura
would see it
Branigan
as
was
like
hardcore.
elevator music. So
I
Laura
remember-
Branigan was scary for you.
I remember. No,
Calling
another
Gloria.
one of my favorite moments.
Where's Gloria?
One of my favorite moments from when they had "I Love the '80s" on VH1
I love to see
was
that
when they
heavy
were
metal.
talking about like because that was one of like the first videos,
Yeah.
and they had I think it was Donald Logue, the guy that plays Bullock on Gotham.
Okay.
Was talking about like because it's basically Laura Branigan surrounded by like 5 disco balls and very sparsely spread across this room. And I remember Donald Logue is like, oh, I can see the director's like, yeah, we need some disco balls for this, not big ones. So yeah,
It's not a
Laura-
good video, but I saw her,
Okay.
and then I saw Donnie Iris, and so either second or third was.
Oh, I'm not familiar with the Donnie Iris.
You don't know Donnie Iris?
No.
Love is like a rock.
No, I don't think that one's ring-
Leah.
No, I don't think that doesn't ring a
God,
bell.
see, to me, I
Pretty
think-
sure we had this. We
Yeah.
actually are recapturing.
Yes.
I think the podcast.
I think that might have been. I think Donnie Iris might have been like a more of a Midwestern
Yeah,
phenomenon.
that is not one that on the elite West
But-
Coast we were familiar
But
with.
Aliyah was, I thought, a huge hit.
Well, don't remember.
Rich,
Maybe
would you
I
check
probably.
and see what Aliyah, A-H, comma,
Okay.
Leah.
Can I
Sorry,
say I'm
that-
having the weirdest sense of deja vu right
Yeah.
now? I think we literally asked Rich
Yeah.
to look this up.
I want to know what
What's his age, comma, Leah?
Leah, I think, by Donnie Iris,
Okay.
Iris.
You probably just
Oh,
type in Donnie
yeah.
Iris.
And what we're looking for on it? The lyrics?
What did it chart at?
Where did it
Like-
chart?
Like, what did it hit
Peak
on the
chart
charts?
position.
I feel like that was a national. I can't believe you missed that.
It's not one that rings
Like
a
when
bell.
you were charting Casey Kasem. I just. That,
What year did it come out?
I don't know.
1980.
See, I started like in '81.
Oh, there you go. Was that 1980?
According to
Wow.
Google,
So what did it chart at?
I'm checking. Yeah, 1980, 81. 29.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
I
not a
thought it
bit-
was.
yeah.
So.
Oh, it's US Billboard. Yeah, no, 29.
Okay, check "Love Is Like a Rock" too, by the same
Yeah.
band. Donnie Iris and the
Yeah,
Cruisers.
29 on the US Billboard.
That's a
and-
band?
The
What?
Cruisers?
Oh, I thought you said just Donnie Iris.
No, Donnie Iris and the Cruisers.
Isn't that Eddie and the Cruisers?
It was Donnie. His
Was most
backing
popular in
band.
Canada.
Really? Maybe he was Canadian and he was just bopping down into
I don't
Akron.
know.
So check "Love Is Like a Rock,"
Yeah.
which was his other big hit.
Love is like a rock.
Love
in
is
terms of
like
charting.
a rock. You don't know that
I
song?
don't think I know that one.
Damn. You've missed out. Like, you would love Donnie Iris.
Did
think.
I? I missed out on a guy who peaked at number 29.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Because all quality in worth is judged just by chart position.
Well,
Pretty
what
much.
What did Hall & Oates chart at?
Depends which song you're talking about. They had multiple number ones.
King's X has never had one, and yet King's X is the better band.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Anyway, what did Love Is-
37.
Okay. So,
Came out the following year.
God, he seemed much bigger. Anyway, the other concert I saw was Bon Jovi
Yeah.
open for Rat at an amphitheater in Akron. So, like, we were outdoors.
Wow. So that's at the point where Bon Jovi would be opening for Rat,
Imagine-
as opposed to vice versa.
Right, imagine that world where Bon Jovi.
Well, because
opens
Bon
for
Jovi
Rat.
took off with Slippery When Wet, which is post Runaway.
Right, it was the next album.
Yeah.
Like Slippery When Wet came next. And so I saw Bon Jovi before he hit. And then I saw Bon Jovi after Slippery When Wet in a huge arena.
Okay.
I prefer the smaller shows.
Bon Jovi's
I
had
mean,
a nice career.
I think, like, he's transcended the hair metal that he might
He's kind
have
of
been.
moved because he did some country stuff as well. Yeah.
confined to. Agreed.
Yeah.
Next, pop quiz.
Okay.
Punky Brewster.
Oh, I hated that show.
Hate that show, too.
That
Plus the
yeah.
relationship between Punky and the old guy.
Yeah, it was weird.
Something not right
What
there.
was
Yeah.
the big deal with that one?
Punky.
Like,
You'd always say,
why did
Salil
everyone like that?
Moonfry.
yep.
Why did everyone like that show?
Punky Brewster?
Yeah.
I don't know why
people
anybody liked that show.
Valerie liked it.
Didn't Silver Spoons come on right after it?
I don't remember, but I remember Valerie liked Silver Spoons.
I
too.
really liked Aaron Gray.
Yeah,
Who I
well-
believe was in the Silver Spoons.
She was, but more importantly, she was in Buck Rogers.
Tiki Tiki? No, Biggie Biggie. What did that robot always say? Biggie Biggie.
No, it's Bitty Bitty.
Biggie Biggie.
Hey, Buck.
Biggie
I
Biggie.
love Tweaky.
Yeah.
And
So-
Dr. Cornelius, was that the...
Was that what that was called?
remember,
That-
it was Dr. something.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but no, Aaron Gray was... who was she on Buck Rogers?
Wilma?
Deering. Yes, Wilma, Deering.
There you go. Yep.
Yes.
So, Fabio.
Yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
not a big... I don't really think of Fabio
2
as-
minutes.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Oh, jeez.
I don't really think of Fabio
All right.
as 80s.
I guess technically 3 minutes until 2 hours exactly.
All right. Well, look, we only got half of the list yet to go, so
Okay.
we'll crank through.
Cool.
All right, the term bitchin'.
It's pretty bitchin'.
Yeah. That's good, right?
I think
Yeah.
that's past the 80s.
I would say your ass is grass is a bitchin' phrase.
It is, yes.
Yeah, but it came out of the 80s.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's like it's still to today.
I'm going to try to bring back your ass is grass.
You should.
Like with students, if you don't do the reading for Wednesday, your ass is grass.
Yeah, you
See
should
what they
do
think
that.
that means.
Mm-hmm. You're
Um,
gonna say that means you're old.
yeah. So, in season 2, Steve kind of takes over babysitting duties for the kids.
Yes.
One of the things I liked about season 3 is Dustin becomes Steve's parent.
Yeah.
There's like the flip of the relationship.
Yeah.
Adventures in Babysitting.
Love it. Love
Really?
Adventures in Babysitting.
It never really appealed to me.
I've watched that movie
Was
so
that
many
Elizabeth
times.
Shue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also had a Thor reference.
What?
Thor reference.
There's the young daughter who's the youngest girl that she's babysitting who's a huge Thor fan.
Yeah.
And then at the end, the mechanic that fixes their cars looks exactly like Thor.
Oh, don't remember that at all.
Yeah. So Elizabeth Shue and references to Thor. It pretty much hit me where I live.
All right, how about some songs?
Okay.
We'll do them in rapid fire. Pat Benatar, Love is a Battlefield.
Awesome. Well, anything Pat Benatar.
Yeah, but not her best song.
No, that would be what We Belong.
No, why are you going this? No, like her better stuff is her earlier rocky stuff. What was the hard rock thing that was her first hit?
What is it?
Yeah.
Of the night. Something
No,
of the
no,
night?
no, not the
No?
Creatures of the Night or
It's
whatever.
not Creatures of the Night.
What? Wait,
I don't know
so
what you're talking about.
It's so good you don't remember it.
no, I
Yeah.
can't remember the Vicky. Come on, the Pat Benatar title.
Hit me
that
with your
everybody-
best shot.
There you go. Hit me with your best
Okay.
shot.
Oh,
That's classic Pat Benatar.
Yeah, Benatar. I just like it. Yeah,
Right,
Pat
you like
Benatar,
all the
period.
Hall and Oatesified.
I like all of Pat Benatar.
Okay, but you like the soft Hall and Oatesified stuff better.
No, I like Hit Me With Your Best Shot too.
Okay,
They're all good.
Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time.
Big, yep.
That's
thumbs
a
up.
great song.
you don't do
Girls
thumbs
Just Want to
up
Have
and
Fun
no
is a
one
bit of a
feels good.
gimmicky song.
No, there's that. All Through the Night is another one
Yeah.
that's underrated.
But Time After Time is a great
It is,
song. Like,
yeah.
it's just a great song.
It is.
The Police, Every Breath You Take.
Love it.
How do you not like it?
Yeah, how do you not like that song? Though the fact that people would use that as their wedding song when it's about like creepy stalker dude. I remember Sting talking about that. He's like, it is not a love song.
Yeah.
You should not have it at your
Nancy
wedding.
is dating Jonathan, who they kind of got
Yeah,
together because he was taking
very,
creepy photos
yeah,
of
he
her.
was very
you know?
stalkery
She
in
didn't
season
know.
1, yeah.
Maybe one that you're not going to be as big on. The Four Horsemen by Metallica.
Yeah, not one I'm familiar
man,
with.
The Four Horsemen is a great
Because if memory
song.
serves, in the last podcast that we were recreating, this is when I brought up that the Metallica I know is Enter Sandman, which of course is the
Ugh.
The
The
Hall
Hall
and
and
Oatesified.
Oatesified version.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
what does
I know.
Patrick like Metallica when they
Sold
went
out?
commercial?
Yeah.
yeah. Which angered me at the time, but now I'm okay with. Like
Okay.
it's okay. Like
and yet
you're
you're still
allowed to grow as a band. It just doesn't. It makes sense that that's what you would like.
Yeah, so.
But Four Horsemen is from there's a Kill 'Em All poster on Billy's wall, which is almost perfect.
I think I remember seeing that. I was like, oh, that's why Bill.
Yep.
That's one of the many reasons why
Yeah.
Billy is you.
I never smoked in the '80s, and I rarely lifted weights. I did
Never
dream
smoked?
of being a lifeguard, though.
Okay, well, so you're a lot again. You
No,
also had the mullet.
I've never smoked, and I've never had a coffee.
Yeah,
I have two purities in my life.
I can say one of those things.
For the '80s, this is the last one. Oh no, I got two more, both
Okay.
around Billy. His dad in season 2 attacks him verbally before he beats him up using gay slurs, which is a very '80s kind
Very
of thing,
80s,
unfortunately. And then to end on a better moment for Billy, when he goes out on a date, he sprays the cologne
Oh yeah,
on the crotch,
yes.
which is the classic
So
80s
classic
move.
80s.
Like that's what the '80s smells like.